Well, the NFL returns to CTV tomorrow night with the defending Super Bowl champions hosting their longtime rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. TSN football insider Dave Naylor joining us with a season preview. He's so inside, he's on his way to Buffalo Bills camp right now. Dave, before we get to the Bills, let's talk Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champions. They're in action tomorrow night. Can they be repeat champions?
Yeah, I think they can. I think there's a lot of expectation that this is going to be a team that's going to challenge again. And a couple of reasons. One is, they're not a roster that's at the end of their cycle. This is still a very young team, particularly on defense. They basically built this team by hitting on a lot of draft picks and spicing it with free agency. But it's not a team where sometimes you see a team win a championship and then everybody's going in different directions after the season. That is not the case with the Eagles. And I think the other thing is just how they finished so strong last year. I mean, that was a shocking result for them to lay a beatdown on the Kansas City Chiefs, a team that not only has been absolute money at the postseason throughout the last 5 or 6 years, but also a team that just week after week after week plays close games, and has made a science and an art out of winning close games. Well, they never got to the close game stage a year ago because the Eagles laid such a pounding on in the first half. So that I think intrigues, just because we're coming back to a team that looked like it was ascending near the end of last season, and certainly could carry that into this.
Now, on the other side of the coin, tomorrow night is the Dallas Cowboys, who would love some ascension. What do we think of the Cowboys? They've been middling for a long time. Is this Dak Prescott's last stand?
No, I mean, Dak Prescott, I think Dak Prescott, he signed a new contract not all that long ago. So they're not going to make, I think the Cowboys, for better or worse, are married to Dak Prescott. What's, I think, caused all the confusion around this is they've had, multiple players come up for contract renewals, whether it was CeeDee Lamb or Dak Prescott. And in each case, they pushed it right to the edge. And it looked like they were going to do the same thing with Micah Parsons. And then they traded him. And it's kind of like, if you're trading a 26-year-old, the most decorated defensive player in the first 4 years of his career, basically in NFL history, what's your plan? Like how are you committed to the other guys but not committed to this guy? And I think that storyline you will hear a lot about on Thursday night. That storyline you will hear a lot about this entire season, because it's just so rare in the NFL that teams would trade a player at that stage of his career, a player of that quality, and particularly from a market like Dallas. We think of Dallas as the place where the stars gravitate to go in the NFL. And to see a guy go like Micah Parsons be traded from Dallas to Green Bay, all kinds of greater intrigue in the Packers, but a lot of feeling like the Cowboys are just kind of a little bit lost at sea.
Now, you're on your way to Buffalo. Quickly, as you approach the Buffalo Bills, they've been contenders for a long time. They can't get to the Super Bowl. Is this their year?
Well, we're going to find out, because I think offensively, they're very much the same team they were a year ago. It was the highest scoring team in Bills history. The biggest change is they've added Joshua Palmer, the Brampton, Ontario native who spent the first 4 years of his career with the Chargers. And he's going to provide, I think, some dynamic that they don't have already among their offensive players. So I think the Bills have basically brought the band back on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, lots that's going to be new. And that's the side of the ball that has let the Bills down. I mean, this is a team that is offensively hasn't left much to be desired. Or even when you look even in their playoff losses, that's not been the issue. It's been on defense. So they go out and sign a bunch of free agents, try to strengthen their defense this season. And in the draft, 6 of their first 7 picks were taken on the defensive side of the ball. And you're going to see players like TJ Sanders and Deion Walker, who are going to be rookies to ask to play in the middle of that defensive line. So I think all eyes on the Bills defense this year. If they can score as much as they did a year ago and play better defense, then I think Buffalo's fans may get that dream of seeing this team get back to the Super Bowl for the first time in 30-some years.
And just as you wrap up, one team, just give me the name to watch out for fans to look forward to this season.
Oh, I think Baltimore's the best team in the NFL. And I think that's what makes Sunday night so intriguing. Bills, Ravens, they played twice last year. They split. Baltimore's season ended in Orchard Park last January, but I was at Baltimore's camp this summer, and you look at that roster, both just in terms of players they're retaining, guys they've added from the draft, where Lamar Jackson is in his career, I think the Ravens are the toughest out, and that they're the biggest obstacle to a Bills visit to the Super Bowl. It's great that we get to lift that drama on Sunday night, because whoever loses that game, their fan base is going to be in full panic mode, which is, classic NFL drama from week one.
Absolutely. Dave, we appreciate the insight. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It all kicks off tomorrow night on CTV. You can catch all your favorite teams all season long right here and on TSN.